Welcome, everybody, to episode 35 of the Ape and Bird Show. This is a solo show today. We've done a couple of solo shows this year while we wait for the highly anticipated return of Steve, who is going to be back in May, a couple more weeks away, I believe. So shout out to Steve. I'm actually wearing an NF Teams hoodie right now of my Dueling Oxes team. So with the ETH crown. So shout out to Steve and the community at NF Teams. We're going to keep it nice and short today. Had a great episode with Secure D last week. This week, the lion's share of attention has obviously still been on meme coins. We're still seeing Pepe do quite well. We've also had the story of Turbo emerge from Rhett, who's actually a Melburnian here in Australia. I actually chatted with Rhett and saw him at an Oshi Gallery event on Thursday evening, I believe it was. So Turbo has absolutely gone ballistic. We've seen Beeple releasing every days about Turbo. So don't want to make this show about meme coins, but it's hard to ignore, particularly with gas being so high. And I think it is having obviously an impact on the NFT market as everyone flees for meme coin wins and sticks away from NFTs for now. Gas prices have been consistently high, really, for the last couple of weeks. I don't think I've seen it under 60 Gwei, but I think most of this weekend sort of been fluctuating between 90 and sort of 150. So crazy times on the gas front. But we also saw Blur introduce the highly anticipated, announcement for Blur. We saw Blur Blend, or the introduction of Blend, which is Blur's lending product. I think a few people in NFT land, it's certainly in various Discords that I'm in, were anticipating trait-based offers for NFTs, which might have sort of, I think, probably hopefully helped in a way sort of change the narrative back to sort of aesthetics and that the old times of picking out NFTs that you actually liked rather than everything just off the floor, as we've seen in the Blur era. But the financialization of NFTs continues its uptrend. NFT lending is not new. There's been NFT Fi, BendDAO, these type of platforms that have been out there for, I think, at least 6 to 12 months. I've never really toyed with them myself, but certainly you do on occasion, probably every couple of months, hear about apes that have been liquidated on BendDAO, etc. And I think this one is very interesting with Blur. They've come out with 3 collections, as many of our listeners will be aware, which is Milady, which has sort of come out of nowhere, Azuki, and Wrapped CryptoPunks, with another announcement actually in the next 24 to 48 hours for another collection. My guess it's going to be DeGods. I have no information on that. That's just my sort of gut feel. And I've seen DeGods run up a little bit, I think, in anticipation maybe of this announcement. But ultimately, lending for NFTs, I think it is. I'm just going to read a part of Blur's Twitter thread when they announced this on Tuesday, our time here in Australia. So Blend, short for Blur Lending, unlocks liquidity for NFTs. Token markets exploded with the introduction of stronger financial primitives. Now NFT primitives will jumpstart the next stage of growth for the NFT market. The crazy thing is, if I go down to tweet number 4, this one definitely made me laugh and probably cry at the same time. Every $1 trillion market relies on financialization to scale. NFTs are no different. Instead of paying $1 million for a house, buyers put $100,000 down and pay the rest through their mortgage. Without this mechanism, almost no one would be able to afford homes. That is absolutely wild to me that Blur in this announcement actually made the analogy to buying a house and having a mortgage with NFTs. I mean, I don't know. That's absolutely wild to me. But look, I haven't toyed around with any of the lending. I got to say, it's not my strong suit. sort of the sort of trading on leverage and things like that I've done was that was stocks before. And when COVID hit in 2020, I got a call. I think it was around the third week of March. This is sort of the whole world was going into lockdown, and my portfolio was a little bit on leverage, and I got a call saying, you need to stump up 20 grand in the next 24 hours, or we start selling some of your portfolio. And that was a knee knocking moment, because I just didn't know, is it going to keep going down? Do I have to stump up another 20 grand in another 24 or 48 hours? So I did stump it up, and, a little bit of nuts on the table, and, I was able to get out of that sticky situation. But I got to say that sort of left a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth with leverage. I think sometimes in markets, whether it's traditional stocks or NFTs or whatever it might be, it's already a risky, a risk-on asset situation, and to be sleeping comfortable at night, I think sometimes leverage is not the best play. So I've stayed away for now. I'm interested. I'm certainly following a number of the larger Twitter accounts that I enjoy and sort of learn from to try to get my head around it. I think probably sentiment overall is people were disappointed with this announcement. But then I do think you've got a few people on the other end of the spectrum that are quite curious about what are some of the wins here, or what are some of the ways that potentially people could make money. But I really think if you're coming from a trading background, you have that type of experience, this is probably a good thing for you, because you might know where the wins are going to be. But I think for the average NFT collector, this is just another announcement that's going to keep more people on the sidelines, in my opinion. We did see a run up from Azuki and Milady in particular off the back of the lending announcement, but that's retraced, and it retraced quite quickly. It was really only 24, 48-hour pump, and we're now seeing sort of Azuki's at, I think, even a lower floor level than pre-announcement of this blend lending product. So very interesting. I will read. Will read a couple of tweets that I sort of bookmarked. DFarmer .eth. I like DFarmer. He said more leverage on illiquid JPEGs. What could possibly go wrong? Trust me, leverage is going to fuck you if you don't know what you're doing. If you do know what you're doing, it means if you do know what you're doing well, it means you won't use it. So enjoy the inevitable midterm pump, people, but don't say Papa Farmer didn't warn you. Well, that pump so far was, like I said, pretty quick, really only a 24 to 48 hour one. And, listing points now, I'm just going to bring up another tweet here. So there are a number of collections that you're still getting double points for with listing. But bidding points now are actually only for the three collections that I mentioned before: Milady, Azuki, and Wrapped CryptoPunks. So we're already seeing, just as news couldn't get any worse in terms of floor prices for a number of the sort of mid caps and even your projects like Meebits and Doodles and Clones and Pudgy Penguins, etc. I mean, floors are still getting hammered. Really, it's without these double bidding points. I think we're seeing the interest sort of wane from airdrop farmers in those collections now. So let's hopefully find a bottom. Well, I hope we can find a bottom soon. But I'm a little bit disappointed, I got to say. I think I was hoping for a different Blur announcement. This I don't think has done any good for the current state of the NFT market in terms of pumping up floors, etc. So maybe that will come if some profits rotate from meme coins, and I'm still unaware actually of when the next Blur airdrop will be. So maybe getting that stimmy check into a few DGens hands might stem the tide. But still looking pretty bleak out there is the message I have for the listeners today. So we spoke about some meme coins off the top, but yeah, the interesting one for me, and obviously having a local flavor, was definitely Rhett, aka Mankind, who's been an OG digital artist for quite some time now. Has been around the scene. I actually Rhett was a speaker at NFT Melbourne a couple of months ago, and like I said, over on Thursday at Oshi Gallery for the MetaKeys 2-year birthday celebration, saw Rhett there. And the attention on Turbo has been probably, I would say, just behind Pepe. Pepe definitely leading the way with all meme coins, but it has seemed like Turbo's almost gone into that number 2 slot that people are talking about. But the interesting thing, if you're not aware, is Rhett actually set this meme coin up, and we think it's the first one that's ever been created using Chat GPT. So Rhett actually gave the prompt that Chat GPT had a $69 budget, and to turn it into a meme coin with a $1 million market cap. And that actually busted through $1 million market cap very, very quickly. I don't know what it is at the moment, but I'm pretty sure it's gone through 100, if not 150,000. Sorry, I should say 100 million, if not 150 million market cap. It's been a phenomenal story, and I would highly recommend following at Rhett, RHETT. There's a YouTube video that he made, quite an emotional one, talking about his journey in NFTs and crypto, and this experiment with Turbo. So shout out to Rhett. Actually going to try to get him on the show in a future episode. So moving on though from meme coins, something that definitely caught my attention was the king, LeBron James, walking into game 2 at Golden State. Or am I getting my games wrong? Was it game 3? No, game 3 was today. So it might have even been game 1. I'm twisting my words here, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, because the Lakers won game 1 and the Warriors won game 2. So it was in game 1, LeBron was wearing the Artifact shoes, Nike athlete there. Everyone got really excited. I think this is what we're wanting to see, is this convergence of taking our digital lives into and NFTs into the physical world. And no better athlete to be repping Artifact shoes than LeBron. So I think that was exciting to see. And as we spoke about with Secure D last week, digital sneakers seem like they're starting to have their sort of their moment, their cut through moment. So really excited to see that. And also shout out to the Clonex community. I think they've had a nice little rebound to their floor. I think they got back up towards that 3.2, 3.3 ETH mark after falling down to very low two-digit ETH only a week or two ago. So shout out to Artifact and Clonex there. We also had Pudgy Penguins sign on with WME. So I will read this tweet from Pudgy's. We're proud to announce that WME will be representing us as our official talent agency. Together with WME's relationship in film, TV, and gaming, we will focus on strategic partnerships that help Pudgy Penguins reach new audiences. And if you're not aware, WME are actually part of the Endeavor Group, which also owns the UFC and WWE wrestling. Recently, that WWE wrestling acquisition happened. I think it was only last month. So Pudgy's making moves. And I got to say, I wasn't overly aware of Luca Nets until maybe like 2-3 months ago. And I've heard him speak a few times now, and pretty impressive. Seems like they really got the foot down on the gas. So another move here from Pudgy's, but I think it will be interesting. I mean, we saw during the bull market that these type of announcements would move floors quite significantly up. Or a certain celebrity or whatever it might be, collaboration, and floors still don't really move much in this sort of down bear market, but I think it'll be interesting to see what comes about from some of these partnerships with major talent agencies. I did actually tweet the other day that I was on Instagram stories, and I had a friend that probably has no idea about NFTs at all, and she had actually posted something at a basketball stadium and then put a Pudgy Penguins sort of like let him cook type GIF over the top of it. And it was these two Pudgies just with, the text, let him cook. And I just thought there's no chance that she knows what the Pudgy Penguin brand is or NFTs. She might know what an NFT is, but I don't think she would know that particular GIF was Pudgy. So, I think Pudgy is slowly but surely just starting to sort of edge their way out of the bubble that we live in on crypto Twitter and Discord. Meebits as well. One of, I think I said to Secure last week that Meebits have been almost like a stable coin of NFTs and sort of took a little bit of a hammering with their floor. They were holding, 3 for quite some time. It got down to almost an even 2. They have had a bounce back up to sort of probably that 2.2, 2.3. But I think they did get as high as 2.5 the other day. But on their 2-year anniversary, their 2-year birthday, can't believe the Meebits have been around. I bought Meebits quite early off secondary and still holding. But the announcement they had, I actually went to my OpenSea page and I saw my Meebit had actually changed. The image had changed. It looks quite good. It was a full 3D character with a really nice background. But over on OpenSea now, you can actually change what they're calling the mood via a gasless signature. So your mood will be displayed on marketplaces with HTML-enabled views. And this is all without altering the metadata. So I think, Danny Green is the guy that was heading up previously the Meebits DAO, which, he's now with Yuga Labs after the acquisition of Meebits. And, I think Meebits are an interesting project to me because, they're probably the most under the radar project in the Yuga ecosystem. They just seem to sort of be trucking along, and they were the first sort of avatar collection. And then you got to, if Lava Labs are pretty iconic, obviously the founders of CryptoPunks, Autoglyphs, and then Meebits. And, I'd like to think that Meebits probably are going to have some historical, value to them, but nothing is ever guaranteed. And we've seen like a lot of these narratives, including, many of the projects we were calling blue chips only 12 months ago, fade into sort of the darkness. So I'll be interesting to see how Meebits play out. I am excited for the project, though. I think they're able to funk it up a bit with this collection, sort of throw a lot of stuff against the wall and see what sticks. So happy birthday to the Meebits, the Meebs. Okay, we're going to get on to Sotheby's now. So Sotheby's, as you're aware, Sotheby's and Christie's, obviously prominent auction houses in general, a lot of brand equity in both of those brands. And both of them had a foray into NFTs at the height in that sort of 2021 bull period. But we've seen an announcement with Mojito, which is a Web3 brand platform. And they are launching a curated NFT marketplace, which is powered by Mojito. I'm going to give you a little bit of the TLDR here. So some of the features of this, focusing on artists first, fully on chain, 2.5% fee. So very similar to OpenSea there. Historically, excuse me, artist royalties enforced at the marketplace's smart contract level, highly curated and aggregator of one-of-ones across marketplaces, content focus, and defend and promote artists just offering above just offering for sale. So I'm not sure what that last sentence actually means, but I think quite interesting. Art is obviously a category that's been impacted by the royalties debate quite a lot. So excited to see this new gallery, Sotheby's, or I should say this new auction house marketplace launch. I would definitely be getting my hands dirty with that one. Mint or Skip. So I think I mentioned Mint or Skip about 6 or 8 weeks ago here on this show. So John Carlo, if you don't know John Carlo, makes some great YouTube video content on NFTs. They have an upcoming mint. Date hasn't been set. Believe the mint price is 0.08 ETH, so quite reasonable there. And there's about 5 or 6 tiers of allow list. I'm hoping I'm going to be on one of the first two, having signed up to their newsletter, Mint or Skip, and also doing some email referrals. So that was a way that they were trying to get more email subscribers, was to get referrals. Referrals would get you allow list. But I've got to say that I've been fortunate to spend a little bit of time in John Carlo's Discord, Midnight Labs, which is having a little bit of a change as Mint or Skip comes along. But Mint or Skip's going to be an access pass to the Discord, at least to certain channels, etc. And it's good vibes in there. I think in this down market, it's sometimes hard to find a place with good vibes. So shout out to the Midnight Labs team and project. And I will give you the Twitter handle to go and check out Mint or Skip. It is at Mint or Skip. Yeah, I would highly encourage you to sign up for the newsletter too. I think it's almost daily, and there's some really juicy information in there. Lastly, I wanted to talk about a little bit of a soft shill of my own article that I released for Cointelegraph on Josie Bellini, OG crypto artist and project founder and CEO of Cyberbrokers. Had a really interesting chat with Josie for about an hour or so a couple of weeks ago. Pulled together a story. I think it's probably one of my best ones yet, and it really caught fire over the last couple of days after being released. I was very fortunate to get some love from the likes of Jimmy.eth and Pranksy and a number of other big collectors. So go check that out. That is, if you just Google Cointelegraph and Josie Bellini, that should pop right up. Alternatively, I think I've still got it quite high up on my Twitter feed at Greg Oakford. So please go check that out. Let me know what you think. My next one is going to be on Trevor Jones. So Trevor Jones was, again, one of the very first NFT artists to sort of like catch fire in that sort of 2019 era, which seems like a lifetime ago. And I think he held the record. Maybe it was the first NFT artist actually to have $100,000 sale. I've got to fact check that still. Haven't written the story, but it was a really good chat with Trevor the other day. And I will say for our next show, which will be episode 36, we're hoping to have Matt Williamson from Collective Shift on. Matt definitely is quite deep in the NFT space. I have been on a Collective Shift podcast with Matt before, so hoping to bring him over and have a chat with us. And I think we'll be seeing Steve back in the co-host chair very, very shortly. So thank you for tuning in. I'm recording this sort of late on Sunday night. So I'm going to get this out quickly, and we'll see you back for episode 36 next week. Obviously, nothing I say on this show is financial advice. This is for informational and educational purposes only. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.